Well, hello everyone. Hello and welcome to Satsang, where we get to explore questions that aren't normally asked. The kind of things that you're not going to hear at a job interview or on a first date or signing up for some club. These are the questions that really are the most important questions in the human kingdom. The biggest one being, who am I? People don't actually ask that question very often. It's just assumed. It's assumed that who am I? Well, I'm this person, and I was born here, and I lived in all these different places, and I went to this school, and I got educated, and I took care of a lot of stuff, and I'm this old, and I've done all these things. But nobody actually asks, well, okay, that's all great. This is all things that you've done, things that you accomplished, but who are you? Who's the one that had all those experiences? Who's the one that was there right from the beginning, was there throughout the entire thing, and is still there now? Who's that? The truth is, we don't really even know how to ask that question. We only know how to kind of go over our past and our CV, all the things that we've done. We don't really know how to ask that question. I certainly didn't. Even when I first ran across it, who am I? Well, who am I? Who am I? And that's even after coming to understand that that I wasn't the body, I wasn't the mind, I wasn't the emotions, I wasn't the sensations. It was clear that there was something else there, but I still didn't really know how to ask that question, let alone get an answer for it. There was a part of me that was still thinking that somehow there was going to be some concept, some idea, some definitive aha that something I could point to and say, this is it. This is me. This is who I am. And all I could ever find was who I appeared to be, what I was like in the moment. When I tried to actually define who I was, the thread that ran through all of the experiences, that essence that was expressed in every single form that I took at every event and every time in my life, I simply couldn't put my finger on who I was. I really didn't even know how to ask the question properly. And it took a while to get there. The first thing is, if you're really sincere about wanting to answer that question, the first thing to do, I have some tea over here tonight, Earl Grey, hot, for those of you who get the reference. The first thing I had to do was recognize that it was nothing that I thought it was, that it wasn't going to be any kind of a conceptual answer. Little by little, I began to see that all described in terms of something else. Everything revolved around the subject-object relationship. If I'm looking at this cup that I'm holding, or the saucer that I'm going to put the tea bag on when it's ready, I can describe it. I can look at it and say, there it is. And I can describe its color and its shape and everything. But I couldn't do that with myself. It was quite a revelation to realize I could not stand apart from myself and look back at myself and describe me. I could look at pictures of me. I could look at myself in a mirror. I could look at video and stuff like this, right? But that wasn't me looking directly at me. It was always second person. It was always how somebody else would see me. And it was quite a shock to the system when I realized that all human knowledge, for all the wondrous fantastic, innovative things it's created, can't address that question of who am I? It will always be somebody else's description, which means that in this search for who you really are, all human knowledge is worthless. The process by which we gain and interrogate and come to know and research human knowledge is the wrong tool for the job. It simply can't do it. This includes the scientific method and all description and philosophy and religion, all of it. Right? It is all describing one thing in terms of another. How do you describe yourself? So for me, it was the end of human knowledge, which I later learned is what the word Vedanta means, of Advaita Vedanta. It means the end of knowledge. It means the point beyond which all of our normal ways of coming to know something are fall apart. They can't pass this particular test. So then how do I know myself? How do you know yourself? How do you get a glimpse into what you are? How do you see yourself from a distance of zero? When I ask people to hold an image of themselves, to picture themselves, not necessarily hold an image, but picture themselves, it ends up being an image in the mind. It's a mental picture. It's what you look like in a mirror. It's what you look like in a video or in a picture. It's how somebody else sees you. And most people, it was about, it was usually like, here up, like you see yourself in the mirror normally, sometimes the whole body. Then I say, okay, well, move closer now. Keep getting closer. Keep moving in, right? So now it's just the torso, now just the bust, now the head, and you're getting even closer. Now maybe there's eyes, and eventually you'll disappear. You'll be so close you can't see. At which point you just kind of turn around and look out. How do you experience yourself from a distance of zero? How do you see yourself when you cannot see yourself? A hint is simply in no matter what happens, no matter what disappears from your field of view, do you not have a distinct and undeniable sense that you are, that you exist, that you are present? Now, pay attention for a moment just to that sense of presence, that sense of existence. Just pay close attention to that. How do you know? You're not getting any visual cues. It's not like, oh, I know it exists because there it is. You can't do that with you. There's no place you can point. It can't be. It's one. Just like a finger can't touch itself, the eye can't see itself. You cannot experience yourself as something other than yourself. So that sense, I am, pay close attention to that. Take it in for a moment. That is not subject-object human knowledge. Nobody told you that you exist. Even before you had words to put on it, to say, oh yeah, I exist, you existed and knew it. Like the mosquito knows it. A dog knows it. The blade of grass knows it, yet they have no words. The blade of grass doesn't even have what we would regard as a nervous system. Yet we know. We know directly. This is the other kind of knowing. This is the prajna paramita knowing. This is the jnana knowing. This is knowing that is transcendent. You just know that you are. Now, we live in a very perfunctory and practical, results-oriented world. So people would say, okay, that's great. Well, what does that do for me? Well, it's not obvious. It's not really apparent at first blush what it does for you. But consider this. Your entire life and everything in it, every experience you have, the quality of your life, wherever it is on the scale, as far as you're concerned, from miserable to wonderful, is determined by how you see yourself. You can't experience anything that is beyond what you can conceive of as yourself. If you've kind of drawn a line around yourself, this is who I am, and this is what I'm like, and this is what I'm doing, nothing different from that can get in, which is interesting because people are always seeking to have more and better experiences, not recognizing that the gating factor on your experience is this self-image, how we see ourselves. But looking at ourselves directly, that sense of existence, does it have boundaries? Does it have limits on it? This is the depth of the self-inquiry. It's not just, oh yes, I am, and then stop there. Go, whoa, what does this mean? This the sense of being. Does that sense of being have a border around it? Can you detect an end to it? Is there any shape it can't take? Has there been any experience in your life that has come into your life that you have not been already able to receive? It's as if no matter what happens, the space is already there to receive it. So is there any boundaries on awareness? Is there anything that could be experienced that would put a limit on it? This is the kind of self-inquiry, because what we're talking about is you. That awareness I'm talking about is you. It is that sense of self is your own self-awareness. And it's not a subject-object relationship. Muji calls it a non-phenomenal recognition. I know, and I just know that I know. I'm aware, and I'm actually aware of being aware. And that awareness doesn't seem to have any boundaries, which means I don't have any boundaries. And if this is really pondered deeply and with a whole heart, you'll find that the sense of I that has been binding you and limiting you and keeping you stuck will begin to let go of all of the limitations. It'll begin to start moving more and more towards this pure, boundless inner space, so that even your personal sense of I, the sense of the human being in your everyday life, will be imbued with this limitless energy. It'll almost it'll be like the clouds clear and the light starts coming through. It'll be like seeing the artist reflected in the art. You won't be focused on the picture anymore. You'll be focused on the artist, and you'll see the character and beauty and love and intelligence of the artist reflected in this. And for you, the art is, well, your life. So on that note, I think I'll bring it to a close. And oh boy, cheers! I'm going to try some of my tea now that it's been steeping for a while. Oh, I need that. I'm kind of tired today. So let me go back now and say hello to people. And oh my, there's a lot of things have collected while I was chattering on. So hello, Roberto and Rosario, both in Madrid. Hello, Milo. Hello, GP and everyone. There's Robbie. Rough Tea. Hello from Ralph in Germany. New. Wow, welcome, Ralph. Good to have you. Very good. Ursula, Madeira Island. There's Mary. There's Ava. All my friends. Remember this from Romper Room. And I see Betty. And I see Louise. And I see Billy. Little kids, we thought she could actually see us. Oh, and there's my beloved teacher. Hello, Facebook user. And David and Elaine, hello to you. Hello, Melissa. There's Sue. Sue says, I don't often say hi, but I'm always here at Satsang with you. I wish you would tell us more about your daily life in a new country and all. Love you, GP. It's really just kind of an energetic experience because I just write during the day. I make videos. I meet with Lisa about the show, and I do business stuff. It's not like I'm wandering all over the place seeing the sights. I get out a little bit and see things. I like to just kind of walk around and just kind of take in the vibe of a place I've never been before. Can't really talk to the people, which would be kind of fun, but I can't. Except kind of grunt and point, right? So, yeah, it's not, I'm not all that exciting a fellow. Facebook user, hello, GP Walsh, love from Florida. Hello to you. There's Virginia. Hello, Virginia. There's Milo. People usually consider walking on water are in. Oh, okay. Continues it later. Okay, I'll come to that in a second. The whole walking on water thing. Let's see. There's Tien in Vietnam. There's Merck. Good evening, GP and everyone. Seems to be a lot of increased neurotic urges to control people going on in society lately. What do you think is the root of that, and why is it so rampant nowadays? It's simply that the less safe. Is it simply that the less safe you feel, the more need to control your circumstances? Then I guess what you're actually trying to control are your emotional reactions. Unfortunately, by imposing your will on other people instead of going within most of the time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's fear. Sorry, I can't turn those off. Trying to organize a little family get together. Tomorrow morning for me, like 5 a.m., but for my family, it's like 8 o'clock tonight. Well, yes. People are rational, they're kind, they're compassionate, they are they're interested in higher learning and creativity and ultimately in self-realization and self-actualization if they feel safe. But right now, we don't feel safe. We haven't felt safe in quite a while. I mean, the economy, various economies around the world, the inequality, the income inequality has made a lot of people feel unsafe for a while. And now with COVID on top of it, it kind of adds to it. And they feel safe, when the government wants to, or even for good reason, wants to impose things like wearing a mask and stuff. We feel these impositions. It's just it's a bit of a powder cake right now, because we don't really know where to turn. We don't really know where the actual accurate information is. There's nothing worse than a society that has lost confidence in its own institutions. I hate to say it, but it's only a matter of time before it falls apart, because if you don't have confidence in your institution, if you do not trust any of the sources of information, well then, I mean, you have nothing. You have absolutely nothing. So what do we do in the meantime? Well, we do turn within, right? Yes, there's this tendency of me being, if I'm afraid, if I've not had any kind of spiritual training, genuine spiritual training, not just evangelical stuff, genuine spiritual training, I'm going to be turning towards others. I'm going to be blaming others for that. I mean, it's the most convenient thing to do. If I can find the culprit and I take them out, it's like all the movies, right? That's what all the heroes do, right? They overpower the bad guy, and it's always the bad guy. And once the bad guy is vanquished, well, then peace is restored to the land. It's never that simple, because we're not talking about bad people. We're talking about states of mind. We're talking about attitudes, perspectives. We're talking about belief systems. Those are pernicious. They're not something you can put out, right? Las Vegas, Sin City. I stayed there for a while. Used to be completely run by organized crime, by the mafia. It was built by the mafia, for crying out loud. And they owned all the hotels, all the casinos, all the everything they owned. It was really a money machine for them. If somebody wanted to move in and take their territory, kind of take something over, they just, they sent, the Goombas, and they took them out. That was it, right? That's how they settled disputes. Very simple. You're in my way, you got to go. What they couldn't deal with was corporate takeovers, because it's not a person. There's not somebody you can take out. Matter of fact, the owners, right, probably never even see the property. They're often they're Milan, or they're in New York, or London, or somewhere. Vegas, there's parts of it that are still run by organized crime, but for the most part, the big money makers, the casinos and hotels, they're all owned by corporations now. Right? Because you can't just use the the superhero, the John Wayne approach, right, to take out an idea, a corporation, an institution. You can't do it. You have to deal with it on the most fundamental level, and that's the level of understanding. You have to see that they represent value systems. They represent states of mind. They represent a way of looking at things. And as long as that's there, um, those everyone who believes in that particular belief system and all the institutions that are based on it will just keep functioning. It's why the answer to our problem in the world right now is an awakening, and nothing else is going to do it. And the good news is it's happening. I mean, you look around and say, "What? Everybody's really asleep." Well, you're not, right? Start somewhere, right? It's got to start somewhere, right? There's a lovely little song they sing in a lot of the New Thought churches at the end. Let peace begin with me. It's beautiful. Let peace, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Where else is it gonna start? And then to look upon those not as enemies, but as friends. To look upon them as your neighbor. Yes, they're deceived. They're causing themselves and others an enormous amount of pain, but you're not going to just be able to point that out to them. If you love them, if you can bring yourself to loving the unlovable, you'll find that doors will open. You'll find ways in which you can communicate to those who otherwise you didn't believe you could. And those you can't, you'll just pass right on by, and it really won't affect you. I've had some interesting conversations with people. I've even comments on my YouTube videos today, and I just blocked the guy. It was a waste of time. If somebody's really honest about it, I'm more than happy to engage in a conversation. Right? But when we want to take a position, right, and argue that that position is correct without recognizing that all positions are incorrect, all positions are temporary. And what we're seeking for me is simply what is the highest opportunity for love available to me in this moment. That's how I do it. That's what I look for. And all you can do is do it for yourself and then hold everybody in that loving compassion. Bless those that curse you. Do good to those that despitefully use you and persecute you for my name's sake. And my name's sake wasn't the evangelicals' version. It's my name being the name love, peace, compassion, goodwill towards men. So, thanks, Mark. Carl, let's see. How do I do meditation, EFT, and listen to you without making my inner child feel like I'm trying to fix her? After a certain amount of inner reconciliation, does the need for a spiritual path disappear? Many thanks. Well, inner reconciliation, while I present it, I can present it as purely a therapeutic technology, is essentially a spiritual path, because it's attempting to shift one's relationship with themselves from one of hostility and fixing to one of love and acceptance. So when you do meditation or EFT or listen to me, right, what I want you to do is I want you to accept the part of you that wants to fix this, right? Because it's all it knew how to do was to try to fix it. But dig a little bit deeper and you find what it wants. What you want is freedom from suffering. Now, we've just been misled to think that somehow we're broken and have to be fixed. And if I fix this, then I won't be suffering anymore. Which creates the antagonistic relationship with ourselves, which creates suffering. That's the real cause. So inner reconciliation comes along and says, look, of course you want to be free of this. Of course the inner child wants to be free. Of course the traumas want to be released. Of course you want to be free from suffering. Right? That's undeniable. So when that feeling comes up, I'm trying to fix it, recognize that underneath that, the true desire is for freedom, and that's quite legitimate. How do we go about it is the thing. And then you say, okay, freedom doesn't come through fixing me. That's an old habit of thought. That's kind of the way self-help and all these things work. That's not really what I'm after here. Okay. What I'm really after is freedom. How do I have that? And now you can go with EFT, go, okay, it's simply a question. Yeah, I was trying to fix you, right? I'm sorry. My bad. I've just reconciled these two differences. I haven't even made the desire to fix her be a problem, right? And so what happens with it is that the at least in inner reconciliation, the therapeutic morphs into the spiritual, and ultimately all spiritual paths disappear because they're only a path. Once you've gotten to the destination, you don't need the path anymore. You don't need any of it. You know, once you've taken a boat across the lake, you don't need to carry the boat around with you, right, through the city. Right? You're done with it. All spiritual teaching, all spiritual practices are like that. Once they've been fulfilled, you're done. There's nothing more you need to do with them. And so don't worry about it disappearing. It will disappear on its own. Because as you become it, is it's no longer a path that you are walking, but it is your very nature. Well, now there's no more path. Now every day is the expression of who you are, not the path to finding who you are. And that's the great turnaround. But in the meantime, the path is expressed in every moment where you have total self-acceptance. And that means, of course, I want to fix this. Well, not fix. What I really mean is I want freedom from this. I thought I had to fix it. I realize that's not really true, but I still want the freedom for it. There's still irritation. There's still frustration. There's still some suffering here. And I want to liberate all of it. Whatever little parts of me are still, kind of clinging and needing comfort, I want to comfort them. So can you feel the difference in the spirit there, Carl? Hope so. Thanks. Milo. All right. Now I'm going to pick you up. People usually consider walking on water or in thin air a miracle. I think the real miracle is not to either walk on water or thin air, but to walk on earth. Every day we are engaged in a miracle that we don't even recognize. A blue sky, white clouds, green leaves, the curious eyes of a child, our own two eyes. All that is a miracle. Thich Nhat Hanh. Yes. Yeah. We want to see something out of the ordinary as being miraculous. And what the real problem is that we're blind to the miracle that's all around us. To quote Jesus in the book of Thomas, in the Gospel of Thomas, the kingdom of heaven is spread upon the earth, but the people don't see it. So, yeah, I couldn't agree with Ty more. Everything's a miracle. The fact that you exist at all is a miracle. It's a major miracle. The fact that, and I'll go you one better, not only do you exist, you know you exist. You are self-aware. Ponder that for a second. I mean, the dog, little children, this chair, they all exist, but they don't know it. What is it about the human being that we know? I'm aware of being aware. Whoa. Self-awareness, sentience. You realize, of course, that in the world of science, that is to be explained through any kind of physical, chemical, or structural process. They can't find some structure in the system that says, oh, there it is, there's consciousness. And at what level is the consciousness there? Is it so the strict materialists will say, well, yeah, it's got to be, right? We'll find it at some point. But many, many scientists look and they go, there's something different about it, right? There's some place there that is self-aware. Isn't it possible that it's not a material structure at all? That it's not in the body, it's not of the body. It's animating the body, right? It's aware of the body. But as I was doing during my the opening talk I did, just being with that sense of being aware of being aware, does it have any boundaries on it? Does it feel like it's absolutely confined to this body? We're used to thinking that it is, but is it? Is everything like looking around the room that you're in? You can rightly say that everything that you're experiencing is in consciousness. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be experiencing it. By definition, outside of consciousness means I'm not aware of it. So is the room I'm sitting in consciousness? Or am I in the room? Well, if by I mean the body, well then yes, this body, this structure appears to be in the room. But taking a step back, looking at it from the point of view of consciousness, both the body and the surroundings and the room and the sounds and everything are within consciousness. Where's the boundary to consciousness? This is a marvelous exploration you can do all by yourself. And spend some time with it, because until something inside of you goes, oh my God, wow, you haven't got it. Call it the power of wow, right? If something in you doesn't go, wait a minute, hold on, and stop you in your tracks, you haven't got it. Right? It's still conceptual. Right? Just start examining it. There's a beautiful video of Thich Nhat Hanh, just talking about a piece of paper. Right? You could take any object. Take this tea bag, right? I mean, when you think about the millions of processes and inventions and handiwork and the materials and the ink and the fonts and the language, that, I mean, all the things that had to come before for this simple little event, that I'm sipping on this tea, had to take place. You see this convergence, this infinite convergence. This is a miracle. This is a miracle. As Nisargadatta says, everything causes everything. You can't find a starting point, and you can't find an end point. You can just find this infinite continuum where in no moment does anything have a static existence. So thank you for sharing that, Milo, and thank you to Ty for saying it. It is truly worth pondering. With that sense of the miracle of it all, life will be, your everyday life will be transformed, because everyday life is a miracle. Hello, Ivan from Bulgaria. Good to see you. Great audio quality. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Decided to use this mic. Hello, Steffi. Good to see you. Roberto, how do you change the way you perceive yourself? How do you change your self-esteem if it is poor? Beautiful. Well, if you recognize that what you're holding of yourself, the image you're holding of yourself, is not who you are. It is learned, right? So I see myself as being, I don't know, weak or struggling or whatever it is. No matter, describe yourself. You could sit down and actually write down a description of yourself, okay? And you look at all those things. That's how you perceive yourself. Now, you can take it from me that those are not the truth of you. Those are perceptions about you that you have come to believe to be true. And because you believe them to be true, you struggle to change them by manipulating circumstances so that you're different. But the circumstances are being created by your perceptions and not the other way around. So let's, case in point, how do you change a sense of poor self-esteem? Well, you look at it. You don't fight with it. You say, okay, I have this feeling that I'm less than. I don't respect myself. I don't like myself. Then I would go, okay, who is this guy that I don't like? Who is he? I don't like myself. Okay, slow down. Who is this myself? Who is this image you're holding of you that you don't like, that has low self-esteem? And notice it's a picture of you you're holding. You are looking at yourself in a mirror, and you don't like the picture that you see. Now you could do what Eckhart Tolle did. This was his moment of awakening. After years of suffering, just really hated himself. One night, he said, I just can't stand myself. And something inside of him said, wait a minute, how many of us are there? I can't stand myself. It's like there's two here. There's I, and then this other self I can't see. Which one's me? Boom. That's when it broke open. 7 years later or so, um, sitting on a park bench and doing a bunch of stuff, he started to write the book, The Power of Now. But in that moment, he saw, for him, it was almost total. He saw that all the constructs that he had been believing in that were so creating so much suffering were not him. They were images, they were beliefs, they were energetic patterns. They were not him. And this is the only way to do it, Roberta. Right? You can't hold on to these perceptions of yourself and then try to manipulate the circumstances to give you a better image of yourself. Say, okay, well, if I had more success and I did more things and I wasn't as afraid, or I had more money, or I made better decisions, then I could have self-esteem. It will never work, because all of the circumstances, all of the things that you're doing, the decisions you're making, are all being informed by the perceptions. They have to change. And the only way they can change is to see that they are not true. They are not real. They are beliefs you've picked up. And because you believe them so strong, they have literally created your life. Are they actually true? I have low self-esteem. Okay, who is it that has low self-esteem? Get a look at that guy. Who is this guy? I have been walking around acting like him. I've assumed that he is me. What is he? Take it apart. You'll find a bunch of thoughts, a bunch of beliefs, a bunch of feelings, a bunch of memories, a bunch of associations, history, energetic patterns, family patterns. You'll find a whole complex of stuff, but you won't find a person. You won't find anybody there. There'll be nothing but thoughts about that person, but no person. There'll be emotions, but no person. There'll be sensations, there'll be memories and associations about this sense of I, but no I. It'll be like Siri telling you how she has bad self-esteem. There's nobody there. Now, who's the one looking at all those thoughts and feelings and sensations and emotions and memories and associations and patterns and ancestral stuff? Is that one the same one that all of those things are referring to? There's where your answer will lie. The answer is no. It won't. There's nobody there. It is nothing but thoughts and feelings and sensations that in our ignorance we have believed it to be true. None of it's true. None of that is true about you. That is not how I see you. Okay, I'll let that go for now. Tian. Hi, GP. Can the realization of self help me overcome the 3 poisons, greed, anger, and delusion? What to do when I aware of these poisons arise in me? Thank you. The realization of the self is the only thing that can overcome the 3 poisons: greed, anger, delusion. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it's a very foundational teaching in Buddhism. The three poisons, all which arise from ignorance about who you are. And Tian, obviously from Vietnam, which is a Buddhist country, so it'd be a very familiar teaching for him or her. Sorry, I don't know which. The realization of the self, to put it in Buddhist, it is the realization that you are the Buddha. The Buddha was not a historical figure, not primarily. The historical figure of Siddhartha, who was known as the Buddha. Siddhartha was gone. The only thing that was there was the pure expression of Buddha nature in human form, to the point where the human form even fell away and he entered into his nirvana. The foundation of the three poisons is ignorance. It's the foundation of the chain of causation. It is the foundation of the sense of being someone, being a person. Greed, anger, delusion. All of these are a personal self, right, deluded into thinking they are something, and then greed and anger, greed trying to get something that it feels it is inherently missing, and anger, anybody who gets in the way, right? At the root of it is that ignorance, which is the fundamental delusion. You are not this body. You are not the person. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your sensations. You are not your memories. You are not your associations. You are not energetic patterns. You are not your history. You are not traumas. You are not your genetics. You are Buddha nature. The practice of Buddhism, whether it be Zen or Tibetan or one of the ethnic flavors, is always about breaking down that wall. All meditation is a letting go of who you thought you were, so that the Buddha is meditating. The Buddha is practicing. The Buddha is giving satsang. The Buddha is listening to satsang. The Buddha is asking questions. The Buddha is answering questions. It's not a historical figure. It's a word that represents the true and ultimate self. And that knowing myself as that's right views, right from the Four Noble Truths, right? The Eightfold Path. Right views destroys ignorance, which destroys the chain of causation. It destroys karma. It destroys old age and death. It destroys the greed, anger, and delusion. And I say destroyed but that's really a misnomer. It's seen that it never existed. You can't destroy something that never existed. We can't kill Bugs Bunny, right? Because he was never alive in the first place. He was purely an image, a thought, a concept. Fun one. Loved Bugs Bunny. And all his character and his Brooklyn accent and everything, there was never anybody there. This is the nature of it. The false self inevitably gives rise to greed, anger, delusion, karma, hatred, malice, jealousy, pettiness, inevitably, okay? Because it's empty. It's searching for something. It is not the emptiness. It is hollow. It's a hungry ghost. The answer is self-realization. Another word for self-realization is the realization of your Buddha nature. You do not meditate to become a Buddha. You meditate as the Buddha. Right? As I think it was Michelangelo who said, if I want to carve a statue that looks like a particular figure, I chip away everything that doesn't look like that figure. This is what we're doing in meditation. We're removing everything that is not original, everything that is not Buddha nature, until what's left? Well, you're still there, and you are pure Buddha nature. Does that answer it for you, Jen? Thank you for that very lovely question. Hello, Tatiana. Hariom G and everyone. Have you heard the 7 habits? How much does it relate to this teaching? Yes, I have. I have read it a long time ago. And it's a very powerful teaching. It really has a bit of transcendence in it when he talks about interdependence. A much more much more mature place of being. At first, we're totally dependent. Then we go to independence. We want to rebel and no, it's only going to be, which is what we're experiencing now. The nationalism is kind of going through childhood illness, like a teenager. Nobody's going to tell me what to do, right? Kind of thing. And eventually it comes to interdependence, where we become community. We do what's best for the all, and for the individual. We find that flow between the two. So on that level, it is a kind of an implementation of 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 of, of what I teach here. But like all such things, it's missing the main ingredient. Most therapies and psychology and religion, spirituality, all of these, most of them are missing the magic ingredient, because none of them ask the question, who am I? All of them set about to build a better version of me, but never ask who I am. And some people, after a while, after they've been on the transformational path, right, which is a step beyond the therapeutic, right, but after a while go, well, all I'm doing is like making continue upgrades to me. Is this all? Something inside goes, there's got to be more to it than this. I've gotten to here and I've gotten to here. Isn't there more to it? The answer is yes, there is. It is the discovery of who you actually are, which doesn't go through upgrades. It witnesses upgrades. It's the reason upgrades are possible. It's the reason why we can evolve, that life can evolve, that it's forever taking on new forms. But it can only do that because at its essence is the pure infinite emptiness that is not a form, and therefore is not confined to any form, which makes it possible for there to be an infinite continuation, infinite continuity of form, all of which manifests the essence, none of which exists other than for a flash. Truth is, nothing ever really exists. There's only the appearance, like the figures in the dream, which is just the mind producing a series of images that looks like a moving picture. There's nobody there. This is the nature of all experience, and the one for whom all of this is being experienced is the true self, and you will discover that that is actually who you are, as will Mr. Covey. Ivan, I just figured out that maybe there is no answer to who I am. Maybe only what is happening is existing, not the one who happens to. No perceiver. Yes, it's very close, but don't stop there. Wait until something inside of you goes, yes. Don't stop. Keep asking, keep probing. What's happened is you go, okay, there's not going to be a conceptual answer. Right? There's just existing. And in my direct perception of myself, my non-phenomenal recognition, there's no subject object. So all the knowledge is gone. Right? You're not done. Keep going. All right. Well, then, who am I? When you're no longer expecting the conceptual answer, keep asking the question, because there is an answer, and you're it. And conceptually, there is no perceiver. Right? This is subtle stuff when you get to this level of the inquiry. Right? Let's see. Maybe only what is happening is existing, not the one who it happens to, no perceiver. Right? Yes. But this is really important, because obviously there's perceiving happening, isn't there? It's all you're doing. It's perceiving. Right? Everything is perceiving. So when you say there's no perceiver, there is no form, there's no one, there's no person, there's no being that is perceiving, yet perceiving is happening. So don't be so quick to say, oh, there's no perceiver. What we want is for the perceiver, the perceiving, and the perceived to all collapse into a singularity. So no, there's no perceiver, there's no perceiving, there's no perceived. All of it. And yet, what is your experience? I'm experiencing perceiving. Who is experiencing perceiving? What is it that's experiencing perceiving? And don't settle for the conceptual idea there is no perceiver. That just means there's no personal perceiver. There's obviously a perceiver, isn't there? It's self-evident. Who is that? What is that? What is doing the perceiving? Don't stop. Don't stop. This is a point where your mind will go, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, there's no perceiver. That's cool. Let's go have a cappuccino, right? Let's go to a movie, right? Right at the gates of nirvana, and all of a sudden, hey, Ivan, how you doing? Keep probing. You're done when you're done. Mark, hello. Thank you for appearing in my life. Well, thank you for appearing in mine. Your teachings have taken me home. Is there an answer as to why it is the way it is? I think you would say that it is its nature. Why is the nature the way it is? What a beautiful question. What a probing question. And there's no way I can just kind of answer that other than to sit with that. Say, okay, why are things the way they are? Why is this moment the way this moment is? Well, because the universe is the way the universe is. Well, why is the universe the way it is? From where does all of this arise? Yes, this is the way it is, and it's like it had to be that way. But when we're talking about that is its nature, what are we talking about? Can you follow that? What are we talking about? Its nature. This is, in Buddhism, is Buddha nature, the nature of the awakened one, the nature of one. Right? The infinite one is the nature of all things. That's why it is the way it is. That's why it appears as it does. Because what's appearing? It is only an appearance giving expression or manifestation to the nature of being itself. The infinite nature of being, and infinite nature of being, you can't draw a line around it. You can't describe it. You can't point to it and say, that's what it is. You can only say, that's what it is, and 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 this is what it is, and that's what it is, and it's the baby crying, it's the squirrel running across the telephone line, it's the Ford truck, it's the galaxy, that's what it is, but you never see it. You can't ever touch it. It's the perfume of the flower. You can smell the flower, but you can never find the flower. And this is where you make your home. You sit in that mystery, right? Until you and the mystery are one, because you are that. There's still a subtle two-ness, right? Looking at something as if what's its nature? You are its nature. It appears that way because you are. That's why it draws its entire existence. Everything is, look at the universe, that why it is the way it is, because you exist. That's why. It's your nature. You are the Buddha nature. I think I'll leave it at that. Let me know how that is for you, Mark. Brent, hey Brent, so good to see you. Melissa K. Hello, Melissa. Greetings, dearest G. Question of mirrors. When feeling disrespect, lack of love from children and an adult child, my greatest teachers, what have I to learn? Sadness from tribe. Well, everything is us reflected back to us. But I don't want to present that in the way that is kind of done in self-help. You know, they're a mirror to you, and things you deny in yourself, you see in others, because that can get too heady. Be present with it. The lack of love from children, or your children, or somebody's children, or stepchildren, or whatever it might be, and an adult child, um, their level of immaturity, right, that is not meeting your needs, right? Take it completely within yourself to say, okay, what am I really reacting to here? What is it that I feel is missing? And is what is missing, can they possibly give that to me? Or is that something I must give to myself? When I feel that when that lack of love is there, what do I feel? Do I feel diminished? Do I feel it's unappreciated? When's the first time you felt that? Is that something you're familiar with from the past, from parents or past relationships and the like? And then you can begin to shore that up so that you become increasingly less dependent upon them, and make it as an opportunity for introspection. So it's not so much a mirror, right, as, you know, that you're not lovable, or, you know, you don't know how to love, or something like that. It becomes more that, okay, what, there's an energy going on here. And I'm participating in it in some way. It's a system, right? So I have to be participating in some way, consciously or unconsciously, almost certainly unconsciously. So I simply want to become conscious of this. I want to stay really present, because the real teachers aren't them. The real teacher is our willingness to be present with it, right? That's always the Sadguru. It's always the guru within, the one directing you. Right? Just stay present with that feeling. Okay, I'm getting this reactive pattern now. There's the reactive pattern, and then there's me. So yeah, it'd be great if it was different. It'd be great if I was getting those needs met. I'm not, right? So let's just kind of step into this place, because there's me here. There's an awareness of my needs not being met. There's an awareness of the lack of love. And if I didn't intuitively know what the presence of love was, I couldn't call that lack of love. There's a lot of people that, I mean, their sense of love and self-worth is so squashed that even a burnt crust is, oh, it's too good for me. Even being mistreated is, it's all I deserve. So even the idea that it's a lack of love is coming from a place that intuitively knows what love is. Now that's something worth rejoicing in. It's like, okay, I get it. And this isn't enough for me. Right? Now, this is a key point, because a lot of people at that point are going to want to assert themselves. You got to start loving me, or I'm going to get out of here, or something like that. And don't be quick to immediately try to take the vigilante approach. Try to take the matter into your own hands, right? But instead, stay with that. Let that sense of love grow and develop. Let it mature, and let the desire to be in an environment that reflects that grow as well. All the while being present simultaneously with the parts that are hurting and that are finding it difficult, so that you become the peacemaker, the one in the middle between this. And most importantly, you prioritize spiritual freedom above everything else. That's more important than simply having better circumstances. Spiritual freedom is why we are here. It is why it's what this is all about. It's what every relationship is for. And spiritual freedom can only be discovered by us. It cannot be given to us by anyone. And if we see that every, as you're saying, in this, the true sense that it's a mirror is that every event in our human life has been put there to wake us up, to turn our attentions inward, to always come back to the source, to where is the source of the I that is struggling or feeling hurt or feeling left out or feeling less than. Where's the source of that I? And then you bring that back to the true I, the sense of self, the pure awareness, that which is aware of it. And then you simply let that awareness in the perfume of its love permeate everything else. And it will make whatever adjustments it needs to make. You won't have to. You just remain clear. And lovely, lovely. Thank you, Melissa. Let's see, Merck. So we can avoid taking a position while still having opinions and expressing them? Can we? Maybe by not taking them personally and also not being attached to a certain outcome. Yeah, that's how you do it. I mean, obviously, this is a contentious time we live in. People have strong opinions. I should get vaccinated. I shouldn't get vaccinated. I should wear a mask. I shouldn't wear a mask. About that, this is the way the economy should work. This is what people should do. Vote for this guy. Everybody has their opinions, and everybody. The problem is that they stick to them dogmatically. They're not open to questioning. For me, I have my standard, my yardstick. Okay, how loving is it on the scale of loving? If there's different ways of looking at things, what is the most loving thing to do? Oh, most loving thing to do? That always gets my vote. That's the position I take, knowing full well that in 1 second from now, everything could change and that position might be obsolete and I'm going to have to trade it in for another one. But as long as I have my yardstick of love and compassion and cooperation and community as my guide, I will always be making a step up. Circumstances change. The very act of taking the position is going to change the circumstances, right? The moment I put my energy somewhere, the system changes, right? The thing is that because we're afraid, we grab on and hold to the position, and then we want to enforce that position. And that's when we get the cruelty, we get violence. That's when good people do really bad stuff. That's when we'll take away other people's rights. We'll even kill, right? Because this is the right position. And it's just childish fear. As Albert Einstein brilliantly put, he called the nationalism is the measles of mankind. It's a clutching, right? And so you're absolutely right. You don't take them personally. It's a temporary step along the way. You're making, and sometimes the position that needs to be taken, the step that needs to be taken is not the ideal one. Matter of fact, a lot of times it isn't. We're not choosing between the perfect solution and hell, right? A lot of people think we are. It's got to be this or nothing, right? It's never that, right? It's always, well, which one's closer to love? Which one's closer to the truth? Which one benefits the most, right? And hinders the least. These are just, to me, they're just self-evident human things. Right? So yes, and then don't be attached to the outcome. And if a bunch of other people want to do it a different way, well, don't be attached to the outcome, because the best way may not be the way, even though you see the best way clearly and maybe argue for it brilliantly, eloquently. It may not be the one that gets chosen, right? And oftentimes it's not, right? Oftentimes the way that gets chosen is being chosen by power and influence, and not by what's best. But what else can we do but hold to what's best and eloquently, compassionately argue for our place? That's what Gandhi did, and it worked. Mark, it seems like everything comes down to separation or oneness. Separateness is the illusion, and it seems like its purpose is to experience each part of the whole. Also seems like the ego or separate self is only the wave on the ocean, as you would say. Are we self-aware, or is the oneness self-aware? Wow. You are you're right on the cusp there, because this is the who is it that is aware, right? We think that somehow I'm going to become awakened, right? The guy in the dream doesn't wake up. Right? And when you're in the dream, you have no idea who the guy dreaming is. And so this idea that I am going to be enlightened isn't true. As Muji put it beautifully, he said, the one who starts the inquiry does not finish the inquiry, but is finished by the inquiry. You start on this path and it's spiritual development, and I'm developing, my character, I'm just, everything is developing more and better and gooder, right? Everything is, and I think I am going to improve up to the point where I become enlightened. But the fact of the matter is, if what you've seen is true, and that is the separation is an illusion, then there isn't anyone who's going to get enlightened. Because there isn't anybody but one. There aren't two to begin with. So you can't have one that wakes up and realizes that he's the one. That is all happening on the screen of consciousness. Consciousness wakes up to itself. Awareness wakes up to itself. Or more accurately, awareness recognizes it was never asleep in the first place. Are you following that? It's very powerful. And this is where we begin to ponder, as we dismantle the false sense of I, what remains? Is there any vestige of a person left? The ego or separate self isn't a person. It's simply an energy. It's a momentum of thoughts and emotions and sensations and patterns of behavior. There's nobody there. So who is it that's looking at the ego? You can't attribute any separate or egoic attributes to that. So instead, you look at that sense of awareness, that sense of being. I am. Who is that I? It's not Mark. It's not GP. It is the one, the only one there is. And when I look at that sense of pure being, and you look at that sense of pure being, when I am immersed in that sense of pure being, is it you different from me? It's the same sense of being. GP is gone, Mark is gone, Merck is gone, everybody's gone. There's only consciousness. And you are that. For some reason, it's plugged in, but it's telling me it's running out of juice. Make sure. Otherwise, all right. Outage there for a second, but I'm back. It does some weird stuff. Can you please turn off the fake blurred background? You know, I have, but it looks worse. It gets very cluttered, and you know, I don't have all the great lighting here because I'm traveling. So, I'm just gonna deal with it. I don't like it all that much either, but I haven't been able to use my real camera because I get a new computer when I started traveling, and they don't have the right driver for my good camera, which is what I used before, which it's not the fake blur, the real, you know, the real depth of field and the like. So sorry about that. Yeah, I know it gets kind of weird. My hair even goes blurry sometimes. So hello, Kieran. Good to see you. Good to see you. Dominic, how to live in the now with unbearable physical pain. 5 years bedridden and loss of job, home, life savings, no interest left in material world, but only wish for divine peace and love. I'm going to tell you what to do, but before I do, I want you to understand, I want everybody to understand that I'm not somebody who wants to explain away, right? Oh, it's just the suffering is all in your reaction and not in the pain and all of that, which can be we can really just be silly and irresponsible conversation. I understand what it is to be in pain, both emotional pain, physical pain, and how it just taxes everything, and it's taxed your entire life. So how do you be with that? Well, you already are with it. You already are in the now. This is a recognition that you're in the now, and right now the now sucks. Right? And you wish you wouldn't, and of course you wish you weren't in this, that this now was different. But right now sucks. There's no nice way to put it. It's unbearable. Right? And yet, for some reason, here you are, and you are bearing it. Now, just the recognition that you are in the now, and for whatever reason, all of this stuff is happening in your experience of the now. And now see if you can go just a step beyond that. That you are that now. And all the pain, all the experience, all the deprivation you've gone through, right? That as horrible as it is, there could be no experience whatsoever if you weren't here first. There's something about the presence of being consciously, intentionally present that reveals something about you, about us all. Which isn't to say, boy, I wish it was different. Of course you do. You know, we all do. Our hearts are going out with you. We're all praying for you right now. You can probably feel it, right? In this moment, your question was how to remain in the now. I'm going to make another suggestion here in a minute. By recognizing you are, and it's just because of the circumstances you are in, also present in the now is this drive to be free of it. Right? And of course, that's there. And you do anything to be free of it. And so that's present in the now too. In the now, that is, in you, in your consciousness, all of this is there. Now see if you can take just a little bit of attention and put it on yourself, that which is aware of all of this. Or maybe, there's a painkiller or something. When you have the painkiller, that you put the attention on you, on that which is aware of it. Because that's the now, and which is where you are. And everybody's had the experience, not to diminish your experience, but everybody knows what it's like to be in a now that we don't want. How can I be present in the now? Well, you are present in the now. It's just the now really, really sucks. Now, something you can try, which is a therapeutic technique that I use called EFT. Nothing special, just tap on the points. You can even do the side of your fingers, like that will do it. The wrists, side of the hand. That's another way. I don't know exactly what condition you are in. This might even, if this is painful, just rub these spots. It actually does have a calming effect on the nervous system and can affect the energy flow. So again, I'm not holding this out as a panacea. Just this can help, right? Maybe even do more than help. But it can also help you just remind yourself, as much as I don't want to, I am here in the now, and I accept what I'm feeling. And I'm even open to the possibility that I might be able to love myself anyway. I don't know why this is happening to me. It's probably a reason for it. I'm certainly open to finding out. I'm certainly open to letting it go. And I'm completely open to divine peace and love. I would recommend that because it helps engage the body. So, and if you want some more information about that, just send me an email at support@gpwalsh.com and I'll try to help you some more with that. Thank you, Dominique. I hope that was useful to you. Hey there, Suze, the Creative Revolution. Kakwenda. Hi, GP. Lots of gratitude and love from Uganda. Wow. Isn't the internet amazing? We are living in a miracle. We are living in a miracle. To see that, right? But we can do this. We're all over the world right now. Uganda, South Africa, all over Europe, the United States, Canada, Thailand, or Vietnam, Australia. I mean, this is a reflection of the awakening that is going to bring peace to the earth. Wow. Let's see. GP, how about writing The Power of Wow? The world needs it. I shouldn't I? I'll take that under consideration. If Lisa is here, Lisa, add that to my list. Hendo 5 Hend, how to achieve Buddha nature. It's a very famous koan. It's one of the earliest ones that many Zen sects give to a new student. And it's called Joshu's Dog. And it says that a monk in all Joshu is a great Zen master in the lineage. I think it was the Rinzai lineage, but he's a great Zen master. A lot of koans came from Joshu. And It says in this koan that a monk, a mature monk, in all seriousness, asked Joshu, "Tell me, does a dog have Buddha nature or not?" To which Joshu responded, "Mu." Now, it's even funnier if you say it in Chinese, because the answer would be "Wu." Now, it's very interesting. One of the basic premises of Buddhism is that all things have Buddha nature. All things. And yet, Mu means no. He asks the Zen master, does a dog have Buddha nature or not? And he says no. Now, this contradicts everything in Buddhist teaching. But it says that on hearing that, the young monk attained a great enlightenment. What did he mean? Does a dog have Buddha nature or not? Your question, how do I achieve Buddha nature? It's very similar, isn't it? How do I get Buddha nature? Does a dog have Buddha nature or not? Well, the reason Joshu said no, and I won't let you, I won't make you sit with this for 4 years. I sat with it for quite a while. The reason he said no is it all revolves around the word have. If a dog has Buddha nature, then dog, Buddha nature are two. There's a separation. The dog is Buddha nature. How do you achieve Buddha nature? You can't. How do you achieve 5 fingers? You can't. They're already there. How do I achieve existence? You can't. You already exist. You are Buddha nature. It is not an achievement. It is not an acquisition. It is a realization. As Buddha himself put it, the personal realization of Buddha nature. I am that. The very first thing the Buddha said after his enlightenment, even before giving the sermon of the Four Noble Truths, somebody asked him, "Who are you?" This very disheveled, very broken down, skinny looking guy, because he'd been totally in a total austerity for years, is glowing. There's this glow about him, and somebody sees him and says, "Who are you?" To which he responds, "I am the Buddha," which means the awakened one. Not someone who awoke, but the one awakened. I didn't have Buddha nature. I don't acquire awakening. You cannot acquire what you already are. You cannot stand up and walk over to yourself. You are Buddha nature. It is a realization. The mind denies it. The mind wants to turn it into a quest, a practice that lies at the end of it. That's why Zen is the sudden school. There's not even a practice. There is no end. You are that. That is the realization. And so there's nothing to attain and nothing not to attain. It's not attainment or non-attainment. It's just what you are. And you don't have to attain what you are. The dog doesn't have to figure out how to bark or wag its tail. It just does. You are Buddha nature. All of you. All of you are Buddha nature. That's all there is. You are the Buddha. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Hendo Five Hand. Mary Sykes, in regards to Berto's question about self-esteem, how to bring the presence knower to the forefront more and more in place of the seemingly powerful false self. There's a flaw in the question, Mary. There's a flaw right in the beginning that's going to make it impossible. You cannot bring presence to the forefront. You cannot bring it up to where it is seen because you are it. It's all, where is the attention going? The knower never comes to the forefront. How can it? What you are looking for is where you are looking from. Can you ever see where you're looking from? Can you ever bring where you're looking from into the forefront? Okay. So that's not the most precise way to see it, and it's a way that could trip you up. It's, where is attention going? And where's attention going? Wherever your interest is. And what is driving interests? Our beliefs. So the one who's experiencing the absence of self-esteem, this seemingly powerful false self. What's the power? It's a false self, right? It's like Bugs Bunny. It has no real existence. It cannot exude any influence. It has no power. So then what's the power? The power is my belief that it has power. It's that simple. I've tricked myself into creating an entity that somehow now I have to get rid of. There's nobody there. There's only you. And so you don't need to replace that. You need to see it for what it is, a thought believed to be an entity of some sort. And if not a self-aware entity, at least a force, a power, an influence. All of that are attributes that belong to you that you have projected onto this imaginary self called the person. So you don't need to bring this more in the forefront. You need to bring attention away from what is seducing it. what is drawing it out, as if there's nothing to gain there. When you lose interest in the place our attention goes, and it's been consistently coming back enough that the experience is so pleasurable, so interesting, so inspiring, you simply keep wanting to come back here. And the attention goes out and you go, that's not really interesting. Every now and then I'll look for a movie and I can't find one, right? I look for a bit and go, all right, well, nothing. Okay. Why? Because there's no interest, right? Not interested in car chases and things blowing up, I like a good story if there is one, and if there isn't, well, then thank you, I pass. I'm just, what interests me right now is the only thing that grabs my attention, doesn't go anywhere else. Right? And this is what we're cultivating. And by interest, I'm not just saying what's attractive, also what's frightening, right? The interest being is like, well, here's interest. Like, I want to get this more in the forefront and less of the powerful false self. That's interest, isn't it? Attention is going to this drama that's going on between the true self and the false self, right? It's the Son of God comics. They're, duking it out in the sky, right? It's like, wait a minute, there's nothing there. There is no false self. I've deceived myself. I shot myself in the foot. There's nobody there. It's not even seemingly powerful. I said it was powerful, so it became powerful. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Before the I, make no other God, no graven image, no ego, no programmed responses, no theology. None of it has any inherent authority. It's all a projection. Does that help, Mary? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Hello, Peter. Good evening from Italy. Blessings, GP, and everyone. Glad to see that you are fine, GP. I'm very glad to have the chance to be here. It feels like home. Oh, what a joy for me to provide you all with a sense of home. Well, I don't provide it. I mean, I make the setting. You're providing it. But it's very gratifying to get to play my part. Jay, I think the most important chapter out of the whole book is chapter 3 on keeping first things first, keeping the most important activities first, so we don't just get lost in doing. Oh, you're talking about the books, The 7 Habits. Yes. I absolutely agree with that. I feel the whole idea of a mission statement and probing deep into yourself is just creating another identity. Yeah, it is. It is. That whole thing, the whole idea of setting goals and people who write their goals down. I've seen some studies, some psychological studies about that, and it simply isn't true. As a matter of fact, it's very much like anything that we project out there. If I project a goal out there, there's a payoff out there. It promotes a sense of something missing here. And what it does is stratify the thing so that the goal becomes success. And all the way along the road, I'm failing. I'm a failure until I get there. There are much better ways of coming to know the success of this moment that's purely in the now, right? So that every moment becomes a success. Am I fully here right now? Is whatever's in front of me to do, I'm doing it, right? I'm a success. Now, that's much more likely to reach a goal than a bunch of failures, right? As I like to point out, you can't build a mansion out of metal tubes and canvas. You have to have the right material, right? You can't build a happy ending out of a miserable path. So we make happy now, right? We make happy now, and you let the future take care of itself. So yeah, I agree with you. For what's first things first, whatever's here now, right now is first and last, because that's all we have. Roberto, how many meditations can one do in a row? Is that good? Can one get nuts by trying to go more in depth if you are not ready? What can happen is a lot of people do a lot of meditation in a row because they're trying to get away from something. They're actually trying to ease some pain. So a meditation and practices do, but live your life. It's the living of life that is where all the meat is. It's where the juice is. We don't meditate to meditate. We meditate to be more fully present in our lives. So it becomes a practice for living. It goes off the cushion and into the streets, onto the bus, into your car, into work, right? So that it infiltrates all of you. So meditation shouldn't be something that you do because you have to, or because it's a remedy for something. It's an inquiry into who I am. And the more I really want to know who I really am and not just get the answer to a problem, the deeper the meditation will go. And if it's just trying to get an answer to a problem, it'll take discipline. You have to force yourself to do it. But if it's cultivating a deep curiosity as to who I really am, it's just going to grab your attention and it's going to suck you in, and you're going to find yourself doing it for 2 hours and like, whoa, where did the time go? Okay? And because then you're practicing meditation for meditation's sake, for its real purpose, which is self-discovery. And whatever is discovered, even if you don't think you made a discovery, the act of looking is making a will reflect it in your everyday life. So I think that's my best answer for that. Thank you, Roberto. Melissa, thank you. You're welcome. Creative Revolution. Don't lean too far back, G, or you get blur. Oh, I see. Into the background. Okay. I got some pillows back here too. This thing actually has a curved back. So how's that? I'll sit very proper, very good, like perfect posture, like I'm meditating or something. Okay. There's Bob. Hello, GP. Can you please give some advice on the subject of finding love, joy, confidence, and respect in oneself? I do understand that money has no inherent value and attributes other than what we give it, or that we can't be loved and appreciated by others if you don't love and respect ourselves. But how do we get in touch with those feelings and how to live it? We'll live the energy. We can't trick life. Thank you. I love you, Bob. Lovely question. First, I want to dismantle the rules. Can't be loved and appreciated by others if you don't love and respect ourselves. Not true. What if the process of coming to self-love and self-respect involved others as well, and not just you? What if the whole design of life was to bring you to that place of that kind of self-acceptance and self-love? Then it wouldn't be trying to get love. That what came into you would be a fulfillment of that self-love, the budding self-love, the opening to self-love, and not be merely a confirmation to it, and not be mistaken for the love you're seeking. It becomes the flow between the two. It becomes a dance between the two, so that whatever awakens in me that allows me to take to just accept myself as I am a little bit can reflect itself in others accepting me. And that's where the love and joy come from others. That's where love in relationship comes from. Both, friends and personal and family and romantic, all comes from the same place. So how you find that in yourself, first off, it's there, okay? It's inherent. It was built in from the beginning. You couldn't get rid of it if you tried. But it is obscured because we were taught to deny our confidence, respect in ourselves, our love, our own inner joy. We were taught to negate it. Right? This is what happened. And so it got buried. We disowned it. Right? So how do you get to that? Well, you can't, put Post-its on the mirror and say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. Instead, what you have to do is first make friends with the demons that are blocking your access to it. You have to first, when a feeling of a lack of confidence arises, we tend to want to run away or try to affirm confidence, right? Which of course doesn't work. Right? We all know, we've all had enough experience to know that no, that really doesn't work. So what do you do instead? Okay, there's a feeling here of that I'm not confident, right? Yeah, it's true. There's times I haven't been confident, and just be with that feeling and totally accept that that's what you're feeling. Now, when there's a total acceptance, or even partial, as much acceptance as you can give it, that acceptance is the very love you're looking for. And now it is actually turning towards the those elements within us that have been blocking it, that have, because they thought it was, they don't want to let it out, right? They're protecting you. Because when you were young, when that exuberance or love or that joy came out, you got smacked in some way. This is how it worked. So the nervous system goes, well, we're just not letting it out, period. Boom. But we know we're missing something. We're craving that, right? So the act of simply allowing yourself to feel even the most negative of and self-diminishing of feelings, that is the love you're looking for. That's it. That is true self-acceptance. And because it's love, it will transform that very energy that is now resistant it'll transform it from suffering to happiness, because that's what love does. That is the conduit. And as you do that, and you give yourself permission to receive it, to have it reflected back to you, it'll come back to you. You'll notice it. It'll be in a child just looking at you and smiling, or a friendly word from the cashier, or somebody laughing in front of you. You'll just notice that it's there, because once it's here, once you let it in, not let it in, once you acknowledge that it's here and exercise it, as you dismantle the fears and the concerns and the sense of lack, it changes the entire circuitry, the entire circuitry of the entire planet, and it will reach out in all directions. And so that's how you do it. So don't say, I can't be loved and appreciated by others if I don't love and respect ourselves. It's not really true. I love you. It's lots of people who love you, right? So it's not true. It's demonstrably not true. It's one of those self-help ideas, that got perpetuated. There's some validity to it, because we do all what the good intention of it was to not be looking to others, right, to make me feel good about myself, right? But then it becomes this rule that, well, I can't receive it from others until I do that, and that's the opposite. The pendulum just swang. You know, right? You don't look to that. Don't look to anything that, for anything other than what it can give you. Don't look to something that it can't give you. That it can't give you self-acceptance, but it can give you love. It can be accepting of you, and that can have a powerful impact as well. So it's okay. All of life is cooperating in bringing you into the fullness of who you are. Everything is, right? Everyone you meet, everything you do, every breath you take, is contributing to bringing you to that. So don't cut this off as if somehow it's external. It isn't. Does that help, Bob? Susa Frankovich. I used to enjoy spending time with myself. Then I started to be carrying a daughter, friend, be caring partner. Now I feel lost and disconnected, limited by my thoughts. How can I change my way to feel that? Beautiful. Be carrying, daughter, friend, partner. I think if I understand the question correctly, yes. Okay, first off, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? You're perfectly fine. This is part of we go through these phases in our lives, especially if your daughter means your daughter, or if you're being a daughter to somebody and have that role that you have to play. We all get lost in the roles that we have to play. And because in the beginning, we're looking for a sense of identity that is functional, that can help us get in the world. We can make a living, we can have friends, we can find a mate, we can thrive a bit, maybe even have some success. And to do that, we take on various kinds of characteristics and roles and identities. Before there's some kind of a spiritual awakening, we think that identity is who we actually are, and so we get stuck there. And it's very common. Somebody gets stuck in their job. They're all about being in their job, so they don't know how to be anywhere else. They bring their job home. Mothers get stuck in being a mother. They lose themselves. And it seems like it's the right thing to do. I'm supposed to do this, even like I have to, because our society is completely out of balance. We don't have anything in balance. And society doesn't want anything in balance. It's completely warped. There's nothing human about the society that we have created, any of the systems by which we operate. Right? They're not human. They're not made for humans. They're made for machines. We're not machines. So what happens is I take on a role. I have to take on that role, and I lose myself in the role because I forget who I am. So step one, how can I change my way to feel that, is to recognize that you have simply lost touch with yourself. Perfectly normal, happens to everybody. Nobody escapes it, right? So it's not like, oh God, I'm so stupid, bad thing. No bad. Nobody's bad. But it happened. Oh, okay. I got really sidetracked. I completely forgot about me. I am more than these roles: daughter, friend, partner, wife, mother, daughter, right? Employee, employer. I am none of those roles. I play those roles, but I'm not those roles, which means now you begin to carve out some time for you. Say, okay, I'm done being mom now. I'm done being partner. I'm done being wife, or I'm not exactly sure what the roles you are. But you go, and you could even involve, you're in a relationship with somebody, if that's what we're talking about, you can involve them with it as well. Let's be a couple, right? I need to be me. I need to be, let's just be a couple, not parents or children or whatever it is. And just remind yourself that you're not what you are doing. You're not the roles that you're playing. And spiritual freedom, spiritual growth, spiritual awakening is all about discovering what's there without the role. Taking off the costume, coming out of it and say, okay, who am I? Not as the partner and mother and all of that. Who am I? I take all of that away. And realize that's a job I'm doing. I'm going to be doing that job. I'm going to get into it. But can I get into that and then get out of it? Can I go into it without getting stuck in it? These are really very interesting questions, aren't they? The answer, of course, is yes. Yes, you can, because the truth of the matter is you are not any of those. So now comes the job of giving yourself enough space and enough self-attention and love that you carve out for yourself an area for meditation, for, I don't know, yoga, different practices and stuff you can do, stuff that is just for you. Right? So you can reclaim that. And believe me, the more you know that, the better you are at all these other roles. Because the more you know you, the more of you is present in that role. You're not just acting out the role and getting lost in it. You're bringing you to it, right? And when you bring you to it, and you are really in yourself, it actually enhances everything. Listen to a piece of music played by a good pianist, and then listen to one played by a great pianist. They're almost not the same piece. Right? So it isn't the music, it isn't the particular piano, it is you being present in it. We get lost in it, we forget ourselves, which actually takes energy from the very thing we really do want to be present with and do a good job in. The more I am with me, the more I know myself separate from all roles, the more every role I play is enhanced and amplified. So, how's that, Zusa? Beautiful. Oh my. Let's see, Brent. How does one know when you're perceiving the self or another blank state? Is the absence of thought just another object seen? Thank you, brother. Yeah, the absence of thought, even in samadhi, is just another state that's seen. You can't see yourself. You can't perceive the self in the way we normally think of perceiving. Right? In this case, the perceiving or the knowing and the being are one. And this is, at this point, duality falls away. There's no duality here. There's not a knowing, knower, and known. You could say there's just the knowing, but even that is a reduction to a certain extent. Okay? So yeah, okay, so there's no thinking happening right now. Okay, who am I? Who's aware that there's no thinking going on? There's an awareness that there's no thinking going on. Well, that's me, isn't it? Well, then who am I? Right? You keep getting closer and closer until what's left? The knowing, the knower, and the known all collapse into the singularity that we call awakening. Thank you, Brent. Tatiana, there is only consciousness. Wow. And thank you. It has so clearly resonated when you said it in a way I saw it. In a way, saw it. Love to you, dear GP. Tatiana, beautiful. How can I enjoy myself while I feel lost and hurt inside and alone? Well, I'll just add on to that, Zuza, because I didn't see this before. Those are the feelings you have to come to terms with. Yeah, I feel lost, I feel hurt inside, and I feel alone. Okay, don't fight those, right? I want to enjoy being with myself and moving on with my life when I feel lost. Okay, in order to enjoy being with yourself, you must be willing to be with yourself. And right now, what you're feeling is lost, hurt inside, and alone. Okay. Now, if you reject that, you're rejecting you. It's paradoxical, right? But if you can allow yourself to be present with what's here, with what you are actually feeling, you have stepped into self-acceptance. You've stepped into unconditional love. That is the magic that will transform it. Nothing else will. Otherwise, you're simply trying to get rid of it, which creates the inner conflict, and that conflict is the source of our suffering. And now it's something I've got to get rid of. And so you're in this fight with this thing, but there is no thing there. You're fighting your own thoughts. So instead, go, oh, what am I feeling in this moment? I feel hurt. Okay, I'm feeling hurting. I probably have good reason to feel hurt. Yeah, I do have good reason to feel hurt. All right, so I'm just going to be present. What's wrong with feeling hurting inside? Oh, yeah, it's not comfortable, but it's not going to kill me. And right now I'm feeling hurt. So let me just be with it. And notice, I'm not taking a victim. Oh, poor me. I'm just being present with what's here. I'm just going, this is here. Okay. I'm not trying to make something else be here. What's here? This is here. Right now, alone. I feel alone. Okay. I'm going to be with this. This is what aloneness feels like. And I'm here. I am present with this aloneness. And then you'll notice that the aloneness may get more intense. Right? And that may just kind of fade away, but it won't always, you'll notice how it fluctuates. Same thing with the hurting inside or feeling lost. It'll come and go. And then you notice, well, wait, all those feelings, they come and go. I didn't come and go. Look at that. I can be present with anything. So now I am being present. I'm enjoying being present. And I don't need to have certain feelings in order to enjoy being present. I can be present with anything. I don't have to control what I'm present with. Now You're free. Now you're powerful. Mm. Thank you. Thank you, Zuza. Hello, Mark, Rosario. Yeah, Dominique, you're not alone. We all care for you. Feeling our company may help you. Melissa, I embrace freedom and love in spirit and in process of creating this space. Contrast fear immobilizes me at times in moving on from attachment, partner of 5+ years. How to move through. Feel it. Be with the grief. And remember, grief isn't just, I miss him, or I want this, or her, whatever. It's completely energetic. The body is used to it. There's an entire system that's been created between two people when they have a close relationship. And when it's not there anymore, there's all sorts of stuff going on in the whole body. You just have to be present with it. Grief isn't a problem. Grief is what it feels like when the body is adjusting itself to an irrecoverable loss and is readapting itself to a new environment that it's unfamiliar with. It's having to let go of things that it had depended on. It'll do it, right? Just let it, right? Just watch it, love it. Don't get into the story. Oh, why did he do that? He shouldn't have. Right? Oh, if only I had. Just, oh no, none of that matters. None of that matters. That's just the mind trying to keep me from feeling what I'm actually feeling, and that's grief. And that's how you do it. I'm speeding up a little bit because I'm at the end of time here. So, oh, there's more messages of love for you, Dominique. I hope you've seen those. Hello, Kenneth. Thanks. You're welcome. Marion, Spike, to your answer to my question, you said I shot myself in the foot. Who is the I that shot my foot? Ultimately, Mary, I'm speaking in different levels, right? By investing, projecting characteristics on this imaginary separate self, which you call the ego, I am empowering it, and then I think there's something acting against me. That's what I mean by shooting yourself in the foot. Ultimately, the foot, the one shooting themselves in the foot, the gun, the shot, the bullet, none of them exist. And you are a witness to all of them. If you can go there, go there. Oh, Bob, you're such a gift. You made me smile. Wonderful. Thank you, our dear and well-rounded guru. Thank you. Thank you, G. Shelter. Hello, Isabella. Wonderful. Such a clear answer. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you again. Always a special gift of satsang. Thank you, David and Lane. Thank you, GP. Much love to Dominic. Love to all. Love, 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 love. Look, I got through it all. Yay. 2 hours. And thank you all for not dumping a bunch of questions on me at the last minute. Okay, everybody. Oh, wonderful to be with you. Wonderful to be with you. I actually was very tired when I started, and you all just woke me up. There's just something, the door opens, and satsang needs to happen. So thank you all, my dear, dear friends. Till next time. Namaste.